Hey, Countdown to the Geeks. This is Retro Ray. We're back again. And today, if you grew up in the 80s and you saw a movie that was called The Last Starfighter, we have been waiting 40 years for a part two, which we have not gotten. But we are getting a new comic that's dropping July 1st. And it's taking place, I'm assuming, right after the movie. Just some of the photos I've seen before, they kind of tease. I'm going to bring some of those images up during the interview and we can ask questions. But I got two guests that are writing this, and they have worked on other stuff as well prior to this with shows I have watched. Quantum Leap, Arrow, Flash, Warehouse 13. And both of them have worked on them. And I'm pretty sure you've watched Arrow, you've watched Flash. And if you haven't watched Warehouse 13, I don't know where you've been. That is an awesome show. I still watch it to this day. Um, Basically, and of course recently we just had Willie Roberts, that's doing the interior artwork, which that interview is going to be dropping a little bit as well. Last Starfighter, Mad Cave have bought this continuation of the show or movie into comic book form, and we get to have Benjamin and Deric, who are working on this, bringing the world of the Last Starfighter to life, and alongside overseeing Jonathan, the original writer for The Last Starfighter. Before we get them in the room, let's give a quick shout out to our local comic shop, Dragon's Lair, Alamo Ranch. If you're in San Antonio, this is where you want to go. If you want to play Warhammer, if you want to play D&D or any Magic, Pokemon, this is where you want to go. And pick up your comics and pre-order graphic novels. Also, Casa, which our friend Nasser, his show November 14th. This show is focused on nothing but the independent legends and writers and artists of the industry. This is a show you want to go to. But let's not wait any longer. Let's get these gentlemen in the room. What's going on, guys? How's it going?
Hey,
Ray, how are you?
what's going on?
Man, I'm geeking out right now. Just getting to sit down to talk to you guys. People have been waiting for this for years. And can you tell us how this took place? Like, who did they reach out to you, and how did you get involved in this project?
Yeah, so Paul Davidson is a producer here in Hollywood. He was once upon a time the head of IDW Entertainment, who we worked with while developing a potential TV show off the IDW book, Infinite Kung Fu. And Paul's an old friend of mine. We go way back. And when he got connected to Jonathan Betwell, the creator of The Last Starfighter, who had the rights to his own property, Paul was like, "This is like a childhood dream of mine come true to do something with this. Would you be interested in taking it and making it as a comic book to try and reintroduce a whole new generation of audiences to the book?" And Jonathan was all on board for that. And then he told me about it, and I was like, "Are you going to need writers for that?" Thinking maybe, oh, we'll just do an issue or whatever. And he's like, "Yeah, we absolutely do," and gave us a chance to sort of come up with a take that he and Jonathan would like, that they could pitch to Mad Cave, and we did, and they liked it, and next thing you know, we were all working together. And it's been a great job so far.
Deric, how is it at these tables that you guys go back and forth and talk about, okay, we're going to be doing this, we're going to be doing that? How did y'all start off the first table read, or the ideas bouncing off each other?
I mean, it was pretty easy. Both growing up on Last Starfighter, we, it's in our DNA. It's like you're the childhood. So having that, like said hello, like when do you want us to start? When do you want us to come up with ideas? And then Ben and I were just bouncing off. We've been writing partners over 22 years, so a lot of it is second nature for us. When an idea really clicks, that where we're on the same page, and then we're just like, okay, how would this? It's like what do we want? What would we want to see? And then not only what we want to see, what would everyone else would like to see, including Paul and Jonathan, the most important part of this early on, to get their approval and their sample, to say like, yay, we all like this. yes, keep pushing forward. So, once we were figuring out like, okay, the sort of parameters of like, when does the story take place? Is it a couple days later after the movie ends? Is it a couple of months, couple years? Those are very important. Like, where is Alex at that, and Maggie and the other characters? And so once we were given sort of like a clear understanding of like where they like to see the story, then we're like, hey, so what is it going to take for Alex to go on this next journey? That is not going to just be repetitive of what we saw in the movie. And then so once we started figuring out the broad strokes of that, we're like, oh, okay, and it just things just started falling in place. Especially, and also the other thing was like, once we understood like it's gonna be 5 issues, not just good. So we had to figure out like, okay, how do you tell these stories over 5 issues and tell a story that's gonna be at least fulfilling of and then wanting to have more. So that's kind of like where we start.
Wow. Y'all had me when they posted this image. It took me back to when I was a kid. And I think everyone at this point, if you grew up in the 80s and you see this photo, you think about, because mind you, the kids, the generation now, they don't have what we grew up with. We had to, if you want to play video games, we had to go to a convenience store, we had to go to a pizza place.
7-Eleven, pizza
Yeah.
place. If you were lucky enough, if there was an arcade or a bowling alley
At the
right?
mall. Yeah.
The mall,
Yeah.
Yeah, so seeing that image took me back and made me feel like a kid again, seeing that and thinking about, because when I watched this movie, I don't know how you guys felt, but when I first saw it, I mean, we imagine as we're little kids, but it was like, man, this guy got picked to go to space playing a video game. When we're young, we're naive, we're dumb, and it was like, oh, what if that could happen to me? That's one of the
Yeah.
things as a kid that popped in my head. And it was such a cool story, such inspiration, a young kid in a little trailer park and going up to be technically the last starfighter to save the world. It was a great story in general overall, and to see it continue now in comic book form is so mind-blowing. And you two guys are getting to create the world of Rylos. We get to see the ships that we saw, and I'm going to bring this one up as well. I have to ask, what was your reaction when you first saw the page of Willie's artwork in this one?
No, that
How
was
did y'all
amazing.
feel?
I mean, listen, we would get Willie's page layouts first before we'd see like that finished image, and just watching the process of him taking what we put into words, turning it into art, telling it sequentially, making the story sort of go from moment to moment that we tried to imagine one way and maybe saw it in our heads a certain way, and he's like, no, this is the way to do it. You're like, yes, that is the way to do it. And that image in particular, I mean, that's a marquee moment right there, to see the gun star, perfectly. It's an impeccable drawing.
Yeah. Also,
Definitely.
Willie's enthusiasm, because
Yeah.
concept image, walking with a gun star behind him. He's like, I just drew, it was in my head. And we were like, oh, okay, you're that guy. It's like, yeah. So
Yeah.
it's been great.
You see, and that's the thing too, trying to find the artist that's going to fit with his story, because there's so many great artists out there. They're talented, I mean, across the world. I mean, now compared to back in the day when we had only people in the United States to pick from, now we have people in Argentina, Italy, Australia. I mean, the talent's out there. And sitting down with Willie, and I mentioned to him about how he's the last Starfighter, because he mentioned that he didn't have access to comics like we did. Like we can just go to a corner store and get comics. His were like back, like it'd been out in the U.S. for a period of time, and they barely getting it.
Mhm.
But he loved drawing, and not just that. In the interview, I mentioned that Top Cow was his comic book. It wasn't DC, it was Marvel, it was Top Cow, and him getting to work with Top Cow when he gets into the industry, it's like a dream come true for a kid. But then also to write to get to draw an IP like this is mind blowing, you know. And not only that, you guys are creating new characters, um, new worlds and playgrounds, and then not only that, new ships supposedly, and how is that? Like, how do y'all? I mean, I just want to know, like, what do y'all do? Just sit around and like, okay, what do you think about this? Do y'all just like feed off each other? How does that work?
I mean, yeah. I mean, again, part of the being in a writing team is that one person has a thought, that person expresses that thought, the other person responds to it, and back. It's like a ping pong match, and eventually you come up with something that you're like, okay, this is what we think is the coolest thing. We hope everybody else will too, and then you pitch it, and then hopefully they do. I mean, certainly with this, Jonathan and Paul had some ideas already that they were like, we want to make sure that, to us, the logic of where the movie ends and then the continuation of the story goes, there are certain things that should be thought about as you're coming up with things like characters or new spaceships, or whatever, villains or whatever it is, because this is the state of the world as we've left it 40 years ago at the end of the movie. And we as writers, we look at, okay, well, we're telling Alex's ongoing story. In the movie, it was Alex pretty much by himself meeting people along the way. But at the end of it, he brings Maggie into the story. So now Maggie's a major part of the story. So what's her journey going to be afterwards? And so when Deric and I started talking about that, it became, well, who is she to him? And who is he to her? And what is the situation that they now both find themselves in? And where do we want to go with that? And that's sort of how, we started with, okay, let's see if these guys will buy into the things we're talking about. And thankfully they did.
That's awesome. And I'll bring this image as well for you guys. I mean, this was a great idea to have this as a start off. I'm assuming this is the opening page. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that just another one that took me back, and just, I mean, that, and then there's these other images as well. I'm just kind of like, where it's like, this is me. I'm assuming. I don't know. I know nothing. I know nothing. This is just me speculating, mind you. Like, this is like right after the movie. I'm taking it right after the explosion, and then him fixing the escape, the main guy, which that's how they leave us at the end of the movie. Him escaping, and automatically we're assuming we're getting a part two, which never happens, mind you guys. Um, and I take it that's what these two pages are kind of giving us a quick catch up, and then it kind of, we're gonna get into the story after that.
Yeah, that is basically, we recognize
Without
that.
spoiling it, yes.
Yeah, but listen, it's page one, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're gonna open the book, you're gonna see it immediately. But no, it's part of what our job as writers on this book was. It wasn't just to do fan service. It was to bring in an audience that maybe doesn't know anything about the movie
Yeah.
and make them go watch the movie, right? Like, to get them to go, oh, so these are the elements that led to this thing that I'm holding in my hand and standing in a comic store, debating whether I want to put my hard-earned money down for. Oh, it's tied to the movie. I know right away what the story was, who the character is, and you'll either connect with him like we did as kids, or you won't. But we figured that what would give it the best shot is to sort of give everyone a very brief primer as to, here's who Alex Rogan is, here's what the situation is, and then the rest of the issue is, the story, the adventure continues.
Brilliant. Brilliant. And Deric, on your end, coming up, okay, I know on the comic side, when you get covers, and because right now we've got, I think it's 4 covers that we've gotten so far that we've seen, and I've got 2 of them right now.
Mm-hmm.
This one is gorgeous, which is the wallpaper in the back.
Yep.
It's beautiful. How was it when you guys saw these 2 covers for the first time? What were your thoughts? What were running through your head?
I mean, the same as yours. It was like, but the first cover, the main cover done by Taran Clark, he is just so good. He's a friend of ours, and known for a little while, and he was like the first person that we suggested. We were like, can we get him? And then, as luck would have it, our editor Sarah, she was like, hey, we're already working with him on something else, and he's great. I worked with him in the past, and so it was an easy call, easy ask, and especially for him, because he's like, oh, this is one of my favorite movies. So
Oh
then,
man.
for him to be our main cover artist, and because he's continuing to crank out, like this is not just the only thing that he's going to be doing. He'll be doing every issue, and it's just like it just keeps getting better, and so it's a lot of fun. And then the second one, that is just so evocative of the everything that you remember as a kid watching. That is such a recruitment poster, and that was the thing that we talked about, was like how can we create like a recruitment poster type of idea. And so we've been very fortunate where we got, what is it, a total of 6 artists for the first issue, I
I
think.
forget how many
Wow.
covers total. Yeah,
Yeah, I
is
think
it
it might be five or
five
six.
or six?
Yeah.
Wow, that's freaking
Um,
awesome.
and each one is just is just wonderful in its own way. That is just a lot of fun. So yeah, that's they. But to see these come to life when we were talking about them, and it's like how the artist takes and just runs with them. Like, okay, this is what we're thinking. This is and because for every artist that's tapped, I think for the most part they're all fans of this, of this movie. That's what's great, is that everybody working on this, from our letterer Rob, was it Rob Jones?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Is it Rob Jones?
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
Rob
our
Jones.
letterer Rob Jones, and Willie and Francesca. It's like everybody is a fan of it, and so that's been very sort of nice to see, and makes it a lot easier, because you can have a shorthand in sort of conveying like what do, and everybody's on board immediately. So there's no sort of like bringing someone up to speed about like, well, you should watch
Wow.
Last Starfighter and understand like the importance of it. It's like what we want to do, right? It's just like, so it's just infused with the we're all fans of it.
Yeah, that's true. And there's this other one. I'm gonna bring this one. I completely forgot about this one. This one is gorgeous too, and I had to bring this one up.
Oh, it's my
Oh
This
favorite.
yeah,
one where
love
Yeah,
that one.
yeah,
yeah,
No shade
this
to
one
any of the other
too.
ones; they're all awesome.
yeah.
But this
No
one's
shade. They're all great.
special. This one's
But
really
this one
special.
is just is special in that way, because it just encapsulates the whole thing of like the trailer court, Starlight Starbright, right, where it all began.
Yeah.
This is,
Where Alex and Maggie went to the stars.
went to the star.
So
Yeah, that was
I'm
what
just
that was Stephanie Hans did that cover. She did an awesome job with that one.
oh yeah, that one. It's telling the story, like you said, the Starlight, the trailer. I mean,
Mhm.
everything's in there. The other thing that I was gonna bring, that's something that I want to see. I hope we get a cover that has like victory or death kind of being told on that cover or something, because that's one of the things they shout out at the end when the last starfighters are going out, is
Yeah.
victory or death, and that to me stays in to me in the movie. And it's just the characters. I can't wait to see Alex and Greg kind of getting back to, because the older guy, the younger guy, the chemistry they had on the movie. I can't wait to see this in the comic form, because Alex, as we know, spoiler guys, if you haven't watched the movie, watch the movie. Alex is taking orders from an older
Alex
gentleman.
dies. What? No. It's called the Final Starfighter.
Oh, dang. We weren't supposed to say that.
Yeah. Well, that's gonna be our Logan.
Oh,
We're
Old
ever
man
lucky.
Rogan.
Yeah, old man Rogan.
that's like I said, that it's a great show, great movie in general. There's so many things about it that I want to talk about, like the car that he takes off into space with. Um, there's just so much, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys put together and how you leave us hanging at the end of issue one. Because that's going to be, I love it when a comic ends with it leaving you hanging with something big at the very end of it. Um, and it's great too when they put to be continued, but I just love it when they leave you with the something happens and that's it. You're like, what's going on? At the end of the comic. Um, but for you guys, as getting to work with Jonathan, because to me, Is that like a dream come true for the two of you?
I mean, Jonathan's one of those people that is so creative, and there's so much you don't know about this world that is still in his head that wasn't even in the movie, which the depth and breadth of the thoughts he's had about. I mean, he's had a very long time to think about this and keep thinking about this. So, the challenge becomes for us is what can we take that he wants to see, do it in a way that still feels right for the medium we're working in, because some of the stuff he wants to do may not work in a comic book because you only got 22 pages, right? But would be great in the expanded universe of the Starfighters. So we had to sort of pick and choose, like, okay, what elements can we introduce that gradually build the world? I mean, you're not going to get the entirety of Rylos, you're not going to get the entirety of the cosmos, but you're going to get little snippets here and there that hopefully will make the world that Alex and Maggie are inhabiting feel a little bit bigger and wider and more expansive than they did in the original movie. Little cultural things, little historical things, little personal things. Like I said, 22 pages of a comic book, you can only put in so much, and we don't want to lose sight of the fact that this is a story about people, right? Like you can spend all your time world building and you neglect the characters, and we didn't want to do that. We wanted to make sure there's enough room for both without one overshadowing the other.
True. And Deric, for you, and both of you, of course, when you're writing for a show, there's budgets you got to take into consideration for special effects and things like that. Where in a comic world, you don't have any limitations because there's no like, oh, we only got this much budget. You can do whatever you want. How is it being able to do it between a TV show and a comic? Where do you see the differences?
I mean, look, it's like, yes, there is the belief that sort of like, oh, because it's a comic book, you can do whatever you want. You still have an artist, and you
That's true.
still have an artist that basically you need to deliver those pages. And so you never want to overly complicate things. Absolutely. There's, it's not like that. It's constrained by budget of like, oh, you know what? But it is definitely constrained by what the artist can pull off. If we tell Willie like, oh, we need 100 ships
Oh,
in this one panel, it's like
on
Willie
a
will get on a
9-panel grid.
yeah, on a
But it's only the first panel has the 100 ships, so
Willie
you only
will
have to
get
do
on
it once.
All right. No, I said Willie would definitely get on a plane and show up at our doorstep and talk like and probably fight both of us. And I don't know what his fighting capabilities are either. So, it's like, man from Argentina, it can go either way. It's like, so.
well, I mean, compared to Flash 2, I mean, like when y'all worked on Flash, like, okay, this scene's going to require him to do like he's moving fast or something, and little things like that. I'm pretty sure the budget for that's like ridiculous for something like that, or when they
It
have like
is, you have a, like, what, okay, here's VFX budget. Don't go over it. Then you go over it. Then because it's like, and then you have to go under it only for then when after you shoot it, then you go back over it. But it's not our decision at that point. Is Greg Berlanti saying like, I want to see more. We're going to put more money into this, and the studio going to say, well, you are Greg Berlanti, so we're going to put more money into this, right? We try to say that we're like, hey, we need another. They're like, yeah, okay, nice try. And early on in our career, when we were on Warehouse 13, we did have the reputation of like, anytime a script came, the production crew would be like, oh, it's a Raab and Hughes. And it would be like, they were like, we know that this is going to cost. And so
we never had an at bat where we didn't swing for the fences. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I loved Warehouse 13, especially the Farnsworth. That was like my favorite, I guess, like iPhone-ish kind of thing, and the sound that it made as well. Oh, oh, that is just gorgeous. I love that. That's like my favorite thing on the
is
show.
that the QMX one? Oh,
yeah, that's the QMX one. It never stands up, but yes.
That is awesome.
Mine. I don't remember if I even got the QMX one. I know I got something from QMX, but maybe that might have been the The gun.
You got
I
a
can't
test.
remember.
You didn't get it. You did not get
Oh,
a test.
dude.
The Tesla? Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, you didn't.
I can't. I can't remember. I got something, but I can't. I don't know where it is. That's the problem.
So
Because
the
it
other
was
question
always
I
the
was
belief of when we get back into an office, I'll be able to unpack all the stuff that I said that was going to be in an office.
Right.
that's awesome that y'all got to that you guys have things from the show. That's the best part of, and that's what I was gonna ask. I mean, because you guys are writers, yeah. I mean, others they always ask the actors if they stole anything from the show and stuff like that. Um, I don't know if that's the same for writers. Did y'all get anything from the show other than like the QX? Because I got a QX Viper as well, the life size Viper too. But did
Yeah.
y'all get
Yeah.
anything?
We got
Got
some things.
this.
The
Got this.
puzzle
Remember
box.
the
The puzzle
puzzle.
box
No
from
way.
from episode 418, right?
Yes.
Lost and
It
Found.
was the what was it Lost and Found? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Dang, that is freaking awesome.
I got I have one of the Iron Shadow's masks from 202, Mild Mannered.
Oh, dude.
Oh yeah, we got the Iron Shadow comic book.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. That's a show I think we need to get back in comic book form or something because that would be awesome to read.
We did we did
Yeah, we did that too.
we did it was like 5 issues.
Yeah. With,
yeah, but I
with
mean
Dynamite.
that's the thing. 5 issues.
With Dynamite Comics. Well,
Be-
it was like because it was going in conjunction with Universal. And so since they were the one footing the bill, it wasn't Dynamite that was footing the bill. And
Oh,
so, but we were able to, myself and a couple of the other writers. So it really did feel like it was just episodes of Warehouse 13. But because again, it was like they were never going to support it beyond the 5 because it was more of a marketing tactic than it was actually like, hey, this is a viable way to keep a franchise going, right? And so we had fun, just like we did the web series, and then
yeah.
then you move on. And you're absolutely right; it could have been a long running comic book series, and also at that point in time there weren't as many sort of independent publishing ways to get a book out there as you can
That's
now,
true.
right?
Yeah, because Dynamite's doing it with Supernatural right now. They're doing continue. It's like the comics taking place in between season 2 and season 3, and it's
Yeah.
giving you stories in between those 2 seasons. Um, which Dynamite and has been doing it with a lot of IPs like Thundercats, Silverhawks, and then Mad Cave has been doing some great work, and that's why when they picked up this IP, and that's the thing I was wanting to ask as well. Jonathan hadn't. People have been wanting a sequel for the movie for the longest time, but nothing's ever happened. I don't know if Hollywood doesn't think that the fan base is there. The fan base is there, you know, and it's just we have to prove to them that this fan base is there and they're willing to come out and see this again because one, the technology that this movie projected was ahead of its time, and I think the technology we have currently can take Last Starfighter to that next level. You know what I mean? Especially with a great story, and there's so much they can take from it because this world, I don't. This is just me. I'm just talking myself, but there's so many opportunities that could be taken from it. Um, even if it takes, if we get this in the comic, and then later on jumps later, we get a later version that's in the movie format. It just leaves so many opportunities that can happen. Um, just like they're doing with Mandalorian and all that. There's those pre things leading up to that they can create that tie together. Um,
Yeah.
for you guys on these 5 issues and issue 1, and I asked this from all artists and writers, what can you entice fans to go pick up this comic? Uh, July 1st. Ben, first with you.
I mean, if you want to know what happens next, that's it. If you left that movie theater going, wait, so they're going back to Rylos, we don't know what's going to happen next. When am I ever going to find out? Well, now you're going to find out. this is your chance to finally see what became of Alex and Maggie, what the universe looks like in the wake of the war with Zur and the Kodan Armada, and what the next part of his adventure is.
And Deric, what do you got?
Yeah, and taking comfort in knowing that it has Jonathan's stamp of approval. Like Jonathan, actually, the original creator of Last Starfighter, is intimately involved with this, and he signs off on everything that he, the ideas that exist in his head that we're able then to basically pull out and then run with it. And then, what you see is what you're going to hold in your hand. So it's not like this is something that is coming from, from other direction. This is coming straight from the source, right? And so that being
it's not
said,
fan fiction.
Yeah, it's like the similar way
No
of
offense
like
to fan fiction.
Our friends that work on One Piece, the live action. Oda-san, it was involved from the very beginning, and he was like helped basically pick the cast, all the characters, all that stuff, so that anybody that would have any sort of issue with it, and they're like, well, if Oda signed off on it, then how can you have issue with it, from the creator? And that's the same thing here. It's like Jonathan had, say in everything. And if he didn't like something, he'd be like, or he would felt like, no, don't go in that direction. And we were like, great, we understand. And so we wanted to make sure. So, for any longtime fans, pick up a book, try out the first issue. You might like it, you might not. If you don't, then hey, at least you tried it. For new fans, I would say just pick up a book and check it out, because it might be something that that is exciting and new and different, but then you can you have the luxury of going back and checking out the movie and seeing like how it all comes together. So I think it's a win-win either way, personally.
So are you guys, or is Mad Cave gonna do any special events to promote up to this, or like San Diego is literally a little bit right after it drops? Are you guys planning anything for San Diego as well?
I believe that they're going to be making an announcement soon. I mean, we plan on being there. Mad Cave will definitely be there, but I think they plan on making like a big splash that we can't say at this point in time. But yeah, I'd say keep your ears to the ground, like and you'll hopefully know. We'll have a better idea, I would say in the next month, especially since we're almost 2 months out from San Diego Comic-Con. By 24th, right? Or no, I'm sorry, not 24th, 23rd.
Yeah.
Right. Well, if you can do Unite, that's 22nd. So
So the question I'm going to ask both of you, and ask this from all creators as well. Is there an IP that's out there that you haven't worked on that you would like to work on?
It's hard to come up with one off the top of my head because there are so many IPs that we grew up loving and even just as adults love. I'd be hard pressed to pick one right now.
I know.
Okay,
two.
Go ahead.
Two. It would be, I would want to do sort of like the now that they're adults, the adult version of Explorers. Right? Like what happened with those kids? Where are they now? What's the world like, and how they get pulled back into that world, right? And then this time they have to actually go into, not just into space, but to another galaxy or something like that, right? With to save their alien friends. Or and the other one, very similar, is Flight of the Navigator. Like those two.
So just FYI, bottleneck posters, the ones that do the posters, the exclusives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I interviewed David recently, and he does posters for them. He is working on a Flight of the Navigator poster that's supposed to be dropping later, and his artwork is phenomenal. He did a Wraith poster from the Wraith movie. Beautiful. And but he, at the end of the interview, he's like, oh yeah, I go, you any projects you're working on? And he's like, yeah, I'm doing a poster for the Flight of the Navigator. And I was like, are you kidding me? That movie is the reason I fell in love with X-Files was because of aliens, and I went
Mhm.
down that rabbit hole for aliens more. Um, yeah, that movie was the same thing. He was right up there with Last Starfighter, ahead of its time.
If
Did
if He-Man turns out to be a success, then I would do was it Kroll?
oh, dude, you're literally pulling out the old school movies.
Oh yeah.
Ah, dude,
I
that's
mean, you know,
another
if you're
one.
gonna want to adapt, update, those are the ones that again, the ones that you were like, I want more, and there wasn't.
Yeah, I remember that movie. That movie, I have that on Blu-ray when they released it in Blu-ray. I got that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah, definitely. I would love to see that because even that, the special effects at that time, I thought they were cool, and I can imagine what they could do with the technology now. Don't get me wrong, I still want 50-50. I want 50 practical and original,
Yeah.
and then the CGI. I'm not really big on full CGI. I like to have practicals, and that's what Star Wars got me. The seeing
Hmm.
the models of the ships and
Mm.
everything like that. But now the Crow, yeah, I can see that. One other one for me is Airwolf. I would love
Mm.
an Airwolf continuation. Either give us a movie like was it Firefox with
That
um
was Clint Eastwood with Firefox.
yeah, that one,
Oh,
yeah.
you mean the one where he steals the Russian experimental
Yeah,
jet?
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
That you're sitting there as a kid, and it takes like an hour and 45 minutes to finally get into the jet that you've been, seeing like the posters of, and you're like, I just wanted that. I wanted 2 hours of him flying in that jet. And it's like, no, it's a whole espionage and the whole behind the scene. He's got to, sneak into Russia finally to get there, and then it's the last 10 minutes of the movie, and they're like, I guess that's what we gotta get.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If they give us a movie like Airwolf, they have to steal the ship or something, because that show was ahead of its time, mind you. The same thing, mind you. As a kid, we didn't know. Well, I never knew that you had to watch shows. They had to watch them in order for story arcs, And of course, if we didn't have a VCR, we didn't record it. We just watched it whenever it aired.
Right.
And now have gone back and watched all the entireties and everything,
Oh,
and I'm just like, the story for it, the artwork. I mean, just the idea of the story for it was awesome. But like you mentioned, and I'm just gonna bring this up too. We never got toys for the Last Starfighter. I
Mm.
mean, there was prototypes for the figures, but no, Gunstar. There's, I mean, we need the toys. We need physical. I know there's people out there do 3D printings and stuff, but we
Yeah.
need to have an actual ship. And go ahead.
yeah. There's a gentleman that we met at what was it? Was it WonderCon? No, it wasn't at
Yeah.
WonderCon. Yeah, it was at
Yeah. Wonderful.
WonderCon. And gave a card, and I've been meaning to. I think his name was Scott. I'm going to meet him, but did these. He did these really cool, just different models, and like the one that we saw was the Blade Runner, the spinner car, and it was so beautiful, and so I want to talk to him about the Gunstar. So he gave me his card, so I'm going to reach out to him and see if he can do and make it, because I would absolutely like give you all my money.
But just like imagine though, like a Gunstar with like Death Blossom action, where it's got like this like gyro thing in the in the back, like where you press a button and it just spins and starts shooting shit like that.
Oh,
I mean, you
dude.
you could make that. Toy manufacturers today are, they've done amazing things, and I feel like that's something that they should just give it a shot.
Well, was it QX? They make phenomenal stuff. I mean, they did I think it was like a 500 count Viper, that half scale Viper they did for Battlestar Galactica, and they
Yeah.
had Katie Sarkoff sign them and stuff like that. I got
Hmm.
one of those to me because that was the screen inside turns on and everything. The
That's cool.
thrusters
Yeah.
flash. I was like you said, take my money.
Yes.
I mean as kids now, we were such adults and we can stuff that we couldn't buy as kids, we can buy now, and have.
Exist that be on Etsy. Again. like you said, like 3D printing or just model makers and stuff like that. It's crazy, like the amount of skill that and talent that people have, that when they and the love that they put into it. And I what's just continues just boggle the mind is that no studio ever looks at it and says, like, absolutely, let's put some money into that, let's support these people, and it's just never the case. Because it's like, what is it that the fact that, again, like when you're doing with these sci-fi shows, and the first thing is like, where are the ships? I want to buy a ship. It's like, give me a ship there, and it is like no one's putting out anything. You're just like, all right, until someone else does it independently.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to show you this, Derek, because I didn't get to show you this. So this guy in Austin, Texas,
Oh,
Wizard Beard is his name, and he does
okay.
custom work. And this is all wood.
Wow. Oh my God,
Yeah.
that's nice.
Yeah, I got this. I reached out to him because I was gonna buy it when I saw
Uh-huh.
him at a show. By the time I came back, it was sold. So I messaged him again. I go,
Oh no.
"Have you made any more?" And he's like, "I have one." I was like, "Can I borrow it for my interview that I'm gonna be doing with the creators of Last Starfighter?" And he says, "Yes, you can borrow it from me." And this is his work. If you want to get one, guys, go check him out on his website. He does custom work. This is not the only thing he does. He does some other stuff, but this is
Nice.
just beautiful. Yeah, this is gorgeous.
Yeah.
I have to.
Yeah, it
I may not
is.
give it back.
Nice work, Mr. Wizard Beard.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, guys. And promotional stuff. I mean, at the movie, they had movie pins. They had I'm the Last Starfighter pins and stuff like that. Do you guys plan on anything like promotional like that to have to give out when the comic is released or anything like that? Do you know if Matt Cave's gonna do anything like that?
Don't know. Don't know. Again, I think they're still working out whatever their ultimate plan is. We were not privy to it at this moment, but I'm sure they'll let us know at some point.
Oh, dude.
I will
Hey,
say, it's like Mad Cave's marketing team has been on it
They're
from,
great.
the minute that they
Yeah.
brought us in. They were like, hey, here are the things that we're thinking about doing. Here's the people that, you meet. If are there any other people that you want to meet, and talk to. So it's been, it's been fun to just sort of like, hey, throw everything our way. We're open to it. So I'm sure that, that, again, those conversations, it depends on like what type of presence they're going to have at San Diego, New York, wherever, whatever conventions and stuff, and also the reception of the book, because the first issue drops the first week of July.
yeah,
July 1st. July 1st, literally.
July 1st.
Yeah.
July
yeah,
1st,
Yeah.
first issue.
And
and
right.
I'll
And so,
bring.
obviously any future that this book may have depends on everybody showing up, and we hope everyone will show up.
Yeah, guys. FOC cutoff, mind you, is June 8th. So
Yes.
get your orders in, get your covers that you're gonna want. Pick your favorite cover that guarantees you that you will get that cover. Because mind you, comic stores only order so many cover A, so many cover B, and some are popular than others. Some may sell out come Wednesday. So get your FOC cutoffs. Go in. Either if you don't have a subscription, get a subscription. Get that comic alone, add it to your box. If you don't want a box, just do a pre-order. They say, hey, I want to pre-order these 5 issues, and that's just going to guarantee you that you don't miss out on this comic. Because once you miss out with FOC cutoff and everything, once it sells out, from paying cover price, if you're lucky, you're going to be paying 15 to 20 bucks for that comic. Because once it sells out, unless they go into second printing, you're going to miss out on those single issues. And you never know. You go to a convention, you may see Catherine, you may see Lance at a show. You can get into signed cover one. You know what I mean? That's a take right there. Hint, hint. But yeah, for sure, guys, you want to get it. Go to your local comic book shops. If you can't, check with Mad Cave. I know like Boom does special orders where they'll have a special cover that you can only get from the web base kind of thing. So if Mad Cave has that, go do that. Sign up for that too, if they have that. But there's so much that's going to be out there, guys. Don't miss out on this. I want to thank Ben and I want to thank Derek for coming on Countdown and chit chatting about the Last Starfighter. I am looking forward to this, guys.
Thank you, Ray. We appreciate you bringing us on.
Yeah, thanks, Ray, and thank you, everyone, and hopefully you all enjoy the book. And if not, then we'll keep trying.
Dude, this is gonna be
There
it's
are
gonna be
5
good,
issues.
dude.
So.
We got 5 shots to get it right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, guys, you don't want to miss out. And for me, I double dip. So I'm going to be picking up the comic, and I will be picking up if there's a hardcover once it finishes. I do pick up the hardcovers because once my single issues go in the box, they don't come back out. And if I want to read it again, it's either graphic novel or
Oh,
hardcover.
right, and re-release of the Marvel the 3 issues,
Yeah.
Yes,
4
that's
issues of that.
right.
Yep. That's coming out in
Yeah,
June.
and that's coming out in June with a new cover.
That's right.
So
The movie adaptation that came out.
yeah, so that's another primer right there. You can pick that up, read that, and then jump right into issue 1.
There you go. Yeah. There you
So,
go, guys. Go pre-order that one too, so you don't miss out on that. Again, Countdown, thanks for joining us. We're gonna have more guests to join us. If you're absolute Green Arrow fan, you're not gonna want to miss the next interview that we have. All right, guys. Well, thanks. Peace.
Thank you, Ray.
no problem. Thanks so much, Doctor.
Greetings, Starfighter. You have been recruited by the Star League to defend the frontier against Zur and the Kodan Armada.
Yeah.
Get ready. Prepare for blast.
Greetings, San Antonio. Calling all Last Starfighter fans.
Centauri's the name. We have to talk about a matter of utmost importance.
Hey, all you Last Starfighter fans. This is Catherine Mary Stewart. I played Maggie in the original movie The Last Starfighter back in 1984. Well, I have some news.
Come meet me and Catherine Mary Stewart at Big Alpaca Comics.
To sign the brand new Mad Cave comic book based on the movie.
Mark your calendars, July 11th. You can pre-order your comic today.
So, I hope to see you guys there.
Now face it, Alex. You're a born starfighter.